everybody. Welcome to TCOM 408. I'm Dr. Mike from Ball State, and you made it to video number 14. As we sit inside our homes, there's a lot of strange stuff going on out there in the world today. We've got not only the coronavirus, but we've also got a lot of protest going on over police brutality and inequities in the criminal justice system and other problems that we have in our society. And I wish that I had time to discuss those, but I have to get back to the matter at hand, and that's ethics in the world of telecommunications. I know we live in some interesting times right now, but we have to just keep pressing forward and hoping for the best. All right, in this video, I want to talk about advertising and ethics. And there's a lot of advertisements that cross the line, especially like this one in terms of good taste. Now, ethical issues in advertising include advertisements that are untruthful and deceptive. There's plenty of those to examine. Advertisements that are manipulative. Advertisements that are offensive, that cross the line in some way, or that are in bad taste. We've got other advertisements that reinforce or create stereotypes. Advertisements that foster materialism and greed. Advertisements that exploit children. And advertising that takes advantage of people's fears and insecurities. All of these are ethical issues in the world of advertising. Now, truth in advertising, yes, there's truth, but it's a very limited truth. For example, I love this cartoon about Fox News. To protect ourselves against truth in advertising lawsuits, we in the legal department propose the following adjustment to our logo. Let's put news in quotes. Ha ha. All right. A big problem with advertising is that a lot of it is deceptive. We talked about deception in an earlier video. Deception refers to ads that make false claims or misleading statements, as well as advertising that creates a false impression. Advertising that's misleading is deceptive advertising. Now, who regulates this? The Federal Trade Commission. Unfair and deceptive advertising comes under the jurisdiction of the federal agency, the Federal Trade Commission. Now, according to the Federal Trade Commission, an ad is deceptive if it contains a statement or omits information that is likely to mislead consumers acting reasonably under the circumstances. Now, there's all sorts of deception that occurs in the world of advertising. False promises, unsubstantiated claims, incomplete descriptions, false testimonials or comparisons, small print qualifications, partial disclosure of information, and even the visual distortion of products. There's many ways to deceive consumers in the world of advertising. Now, consumer groups have asked the feds to crack down on a bunch of different products and a bunch of different deceptive advertising. One of these areas focuses on deceptive healthy eating claims. For example, Kentucky Fried Chicken has made some deceptive promises about the health benefits of eating fried chicken. Recently, the FTC has cracked down on some unsubstantiated weight loss claims. Take this magic pill and it will cause you to lose weight. Well, we know that really the most effective thing for weight is diet and exercise. There is no magic pill. The FTC recently escalated its oversight of advertisers that make unsubstantiated health and fitness claims. Skechers was caught a few years ago for claiming that one of its shoes would magically tone your legs. Well, of course, this isn't true. It's an unsubstantiated claim. Recently, a company called Luminosity settled with the FTC. It was charged with deceptive advertising for its brain training program. The company claimed that it could sharpen your performance and even protect you, your cognitive performance, and even protect you against Alzheimer's and other forms of cognitive decline. These were deceptive claims. So, a lot of deceptive advertising, and advertising that has other problems as well. Now I'd like to introduce you to something called the TARS test, T-A-R-E-S, the TARS test. I think this is an incredibly important framework for helping us make critical, informed judgments about ethical issues in the world of advertising and persuasion. The TARS test, if you do in your presentation an issue involving advertising or persuasion, please use the TARS test to make your ethical judgment. So what is the TARS, T-A-R-E-S test? Well, it's a little 5-point test for what the authors call ethical persuasion. Ethical persuasion. This was published by a pair of media ethicists back in 2001, Baker and Martinson. And the TARS test seeks to establish principles for an ethical approach to persuasion, especially commercial persuasion, advertising, that communication that takes place in the marketing process. So the TARS test consists of 5 principles: truthfulness, authenticity, respect, equity, and social responsibility. Now, the authors offer some checklist of questions for each of the 5 principles that help the practitioner explore their implications. So for example, in the world of truthfulness, you might ask questions like these. Is this communication factually accurate? Is it true? Does it lead people to believe what I myself do not believe? Has this appeal downplayed any relevant evidence? Questions related to the idea of truthfulness. Now, suppose you work in the world of advertising, and then you might ask yourself these questions when you're creating an ad or any other persuasive communication. Does this action compromise my integrity? Do I feel good about being involved in this action? Do I truly think and believe that the audience will benefit? And are the reasons that I'm giving the consumer for purchasing the product, are they authentic? All right, what about respect? Another important dimension. Let's say you're working in the advertising industry and creating an ad. You might want to ask these kinds of questions. Is the persuasive appeal made to people as rational, self-determining human beings? Am I respecting the audience? Have I respected the audience of this ad by appealing to their higher inclinations, their basic goodness? Or am I pandering or exploiting or appealing to their lower or baser inclinations? Or I might ask, does this communication show a respect for human life? Or are people merely treated as a means to an end? Another criterion in the TARS test is the idea of equity. And think about this if you're creating an ad. Am I doing to others what I would not want done to me or to people I care about? In other words, am I following the golden rule? Do the receivers of the message know that they're being persuaded rather than just being informed? Does the persuasion place both the creator and the recipient on a mutual standing? Is the advertising copy written to ensure that all recipients can interpret the message with the same common understanding? Equitable treatment. Do I feel like I'm being fair? Finally, we might ask questions about social responsibility. Does this advertisement take responsibility to promote and create the kind of world and society in which I would like to live? Have I unfairly stereotyped any constituent groups in society in the persuasion campaign? Another question might be, am I taking proper steps to care about the environment and issues like sustainability and protecting the environment? Social responsibility. So, Just to repeat, the TARS test consists of 5 principles. You can take any advertisement and hold it up to these criteria. Ask about the truthfulness of the message. Ask about the authenticity of the persuader. Ask about respect for the audience. Ask questions about equity concerning the persuasive appeal. And finally, ask questions about social responsibility. Is what's being done in the interest of the common good? So, there's a lot of controversial ads that you can look at. A few years ago, we had a very tone-deaf ad for Pepsi that kind of tried to take advantage of the Black Lives Matter movement in order to sell soft drinks, and a lot of backlash against this ad. More recently, there was an ad by Gillette, the men's product shaving company, We Believe ad that challenged toxic masculinity. I really loved this ad, but there are a lot of critics who said it demonized men and painted a negative picture of men in society. Well, you'll have to watch these ads and draw your own conclusions, but advertising is certainly an important aspect of the TCOM world, and one that raises all kinds of ethical concerns. So that's all I've got in this lecture. Please take care of yourself. I know we're living in very, very important and even disturbing times with everything that's going on in the world right now. But we'll get through all of it and end up better on the other side. All right, please take care of yourselves, and we'll see you again soon. So long.